What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in to Lineman Life Live. I'm your observant lineman, Uche Nwaneri, and my co-host, Skywalker Justin Blaylock in the house.
Sir. Let's get it.
Let's get it, man. So right in time for the draft, the bomb that has shook the NFL to its very core is here. Right on time to keep the drama nice and tight. The San Francisco 49ers have been informed by Deebo Samuel that he is requesting a trade. That's the big news today. And wow, it comes at probably the most inopportune time for the Niners, but a great opportunity for teams around the league to try and make a deal before the draft or in the draft,
right,
to scoop up this coveted wide receiver / running back. Now, let me go ahead and share this screen here with you guys. The situation as it stands now with the Niners and Deebo Samuel, and this was breaking news from Jeff Darlington. He says, I just spoke to wide receiver Deebo Samuel, and he has told me he's asked the 49ers to trade him. He does not want to discuss specific reasons behind his request, but he has indeed let the Niners know his desire to leave the organization and more to come. Now, there's been some nuance added to this since the news broke that Deebo does not like his position as a hybrid wideout running back. And I mean, I'll be honest, that's a surprise to me. That's something that I did not expect to hear. I would have expected if there was an issue, maybe it was with the renegotiation of a contract for him, because you know there have been a number of players. It's like a council of players, I guess, right now, a council of guys who all are communicating online, talking about, yeah, we ain't showing up unless we get a better unless I get a new contract. You got Kyler Murray, you got AJ Brown, you got DK Metcalf, you got now Deebo Samuel. Guys who were just like, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't going. I'm not playing. Now,
that's the NBA
how
now.
do you feel? Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, guys, you know, I had said in past videos on my channel that if the players only realize the power that they actually have, you are the asset. If they realize that power and begin to wield it in a strategic way, you can get teams to do almost anything that you want them to do, because at the end of the day, if you're a player like Deebo Samuel, who was critical to the success of the Niners, they wouldn't have been able to make the playoffs without him. Right. They wouldn't have won the playoff games they won without him. When you have that kind of leverage, you can kind of do what you want.
Yeah, it's shaking out that way. I think he was number 2 in yards from scrimmage, probably to Cooper Kupp, I'm assuming, who led receivers in every category you can imagine this past year. But I mean, just an easier way to get some cheap yards. Well, not cheap, because you're always getting hit at running back, so I won't call them cheap yards. You're
always getting hit.
But an easier way to guarantee, a handoff is all but guaranteed. Yeah. A throw, it could be tipped, it could be batted down, it could be picked off.
It could be a bad throw.
Yeah, lots of shit could happen. So I understand why the offense would like to have that aspect, like the Swiss Army knife that can do it all. But if I'm looking at receivers getting this money, who is not getting it is running backs. So I don't want to be thought of as a running back in any connotation at all. I don't associate me with that by any means.
And that is an excellent point, because, again, like, what do they see him as? If it comes to contract negotiations, do they see him as a running back, or do they see him as a receiver? Now, I ain't mad at him if he wants to be viewed as a receiver. And this is, apparently coming from Deebo. He says Deebo wants a more traditional wide receiver role and not to be a receiver running back. And I think that comes into play because potentially during the course of negotiating a contract, they probably, I mean, I'm willing to, I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners were like, yeah, we think you're a running back. And he was just like, hell no, y'all tripping.
Hell to the no.
I'm out. Hell to the no.
Unless y'all finna pay me as a running back plus a receiver,
yes.
then we can talk. Like I need Devontae contract plus I don't even know Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, well, we got to look at it like this. Like you're starting to see these kind of players pop up in the NFL a little bit more. Usually this is a situation that you see in college where you got a guy who's just an athlete and you could put him at different positions on the field and he's effective in a lot of different ways. And Deebo is probably the most well-rounded just athlete player that you could put at different positions. I mean, you could put him at running back in the backfield. You could put him at wide receiver. I mean, I would even think, honestly, you could put him at safety and be like, yo, play deep or just come down and hit somebody.
Right.
And he'd be fine. I think he'd be fine. But this
football player.
Yeah, he's a football player and he's a damn good one. And he's an elite player, like right now in the league, I believe. I think he is a top 10 player because he's such a weapon that can be used in a number of different ways. And, with the draft right around the corner, this presents a bit of an opportunity for a team like Jacksonville. Now, hear me out. Picture this. Look, this has got to be the thought process in my opinion. If the 49ers realize that they don't have any way to like get through this impasse with Deebo Samuel, they're not sending them to any team that is going to be considered a competitor. They're not going to. They're going to, because it's out of spite even. And hey, look, these guys got egos.
Yeah.
One thing the NFL is full of when it comes to front office decision makers is massive egos.
Yep.
These guys are going to say, oh, okay, you don't want to be a Niner. You don't want to be a part of what we built. You don't want to build upon what we started last year, getting to the NFC title game. You don't want to be a part of that. Okay, we're going to ship your ass off to the worst team possible.
Have fun in Siberia.
Yeah, have fun in Siberia. Now, again, this is how teams, I mean, when there is bad blood between a player and the organization, we've seen it happen before. They'll try and send you to a graveyard. So in this situation here, it presents a unique opportunity for a team like Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs weapons at the wide receiver spot. You can argue, I don't know how far you get with it, but you can argue that Deebo is a one-ish receiver. One-ish. He can be considered a primary wideout. I mean, he runs, you usually see him running a lot of intermediate routes. You're not putting him out there to go deep all the time, but when you're in a situation that there's bad blood and there's got to be a move made, the Jacksonville Jaguars have the number 1 overall pick. There's value in that, even though this is, admittedly
a weak draft.
A weaker draft. I mean, this is a weak draft. There's not a true number 1 overall that you can look at and point to and say, okay, that's the guy. But giving that number 1 pick to the 49ers straight up for Deebo Samuel, I mean, at least it gives the Niners options. At least it gives them some space to say, okay, we can, we know that whoever we pick, it's not really a number 1, like a true number 1 overall, but we get to pick first and we can pick whoever the hell we want. So I think there's value in that. I think that it would behoove the Jaguars to be on the phones right now trying to see what the 49ers are willing to do. I mean, heck, throw in a player. Shoot, for Deebo, I say, hey, throw in Travis Etienne. We could correct that mistake right now from drafting him last year. We could correct that right now. Let's go. Because, I mean, look.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Travis Etienne is not a Doug Peterson player. He's not a Doug Peterson pick. Really, I don't even think, I don't think he's a Trent Baalke pick. I think that was a straight up Urban Meyer pick. So, with that being as it is, in which you having James Robinson coming back next year, and he is coming off an Achilles tear, but he's coming back. And again, you got draft capital. You can get another running back, the one that more fits what you want to do on offense. Doug Peterson in Philadelphia, they had downhill runs. They were there, even as a spread offense, they still ran under the center and ran traditional downhill runs. They're going to want a running back that can handle that kind of load. I mean, and traditionally Jacksonville is a running team. I mean, I feel like anytime the Jags are running the ball well, they're a better team. The spread offense has never been like the forte of Jacksonville. And I don't know if it's, I don't know why that is particularly, because I guess when you get a new coordinator in, your offense can be anything they want it to be. But the Jags have just traditionally been a team that runs downhill, a more Pittsburgh style team. I mean, you're talking about Pittsburgh from, maybe 6-7 years ago, not, the last few years where they just been out there just throwing slants at every play.
Right.
But it's an interesting situation. I think that's got to be the most viable move if you're the Niners. If you got to trade this guy, if you know that it's just not going to work, he's not communicating with the team right now from what let me see here. I had it pulled up, but I guess I closed it out. Well, but there has been reports that he's not even communicating with the Niners. Like they've offered contract extensions and he has been non-responsive. Like he's just done. I think he is
scorched earth.
Yeah, scorched earth. He wants out. But I think that you look at the teams, and there's a number of teams that Field Yates here thinks. I mean, I guess that's pretty much every team.
Yeah, I think that's all 30.
Yeah, every team wants this guy.
You got the 31.
The graphic of every NFL team that should try to trade for Deebo, all of them. I mean, every team could use a guy like that, and he would be that would be a kind of a game changer for any team that gets him. I mean, maybe not the Texans. Oh, if he ended up there, how disgusted would he be with himself?
Oh my God!
Because the Texans, I mean, they got Lovie Smith right now. We know he's kind of a stopgap head coach, but that's not a great destination for him.
No state income tax.
No state income tax. Hey, you know what?
Same
thing in Duval,
coming
son.
From Cali.
Coming from Cali, same thing in Jacksonville. No state tax.
Yeah. Coming from Cali, you're looking at like close to 58, 60%.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time it's all said and done, so AFC South is a good look. If you're
the AFC South is a weaker division right now.
You want to keep your ducats.
Yeah, I mean it's a division that if the Jags are able to put some pieces together, you got Deebo Samuel out there, you can take that division. I mean the Titans have had it, but the Titans have also kind of found themselves in a bit of a stale position where they just aren't moving forward or back. They're not really moving backwards, but they aren't moving forward.
Yeah, they got a receiver problem right now.
And
Julio's in the
AJ
win
Brown.
right now, and then AJ Brown's, threatening to hold out. We don't exactly know what we're gonna get out of Derrick Henry. I mean, last time we saw him, it wasn't the same.
And, he's got dude's got steel rods in his foot.
I mean, hopefully, with the offseason of rehabbing and trying to get that thing as right as you can. I mean, I hope he can recover and be back to his normal self. But that division I think is ripe for the taking. I mean,
yeah, and
obviously
that can
you still got to make some moves.
Yeah, you do. You definitely got to make some moves. And I mean, again, like this is the Jag. I mean, and look, maybe I'm biased. I'm a Jaguar, but that makes the most sense if you want to get as high a value as possible. Because you got to think about it like this: wherever he goes, he's going to want a new contract. And
so you skipped for like $4 million this year.
Yeah, I mean they've been getting his ass. That's like the James Robinson situation. Like you had a rookie running back who had almost 1,400 yards rushing as a rookie on a 1-15 team, and you were paying him like $400,000. If they didn't hire Urban Meyer, he probably would have followed up with another 1,000-yard rushing year, and they're still not going to pay him. They're going to be like, yeah, let's get one. Let's see how you look after next, because they're not going, because he's under $1 million. So you got a guy like Deebo, who was a high draft pick, a high ranked draft pick, a guy who is not being paid a ton of money, and you can actually, and at least the way the Niners are probably seeing it, they're trying to kind of feel their way through lowballing him as a running back. Well, you send him to a team that needs a wideout. You send him to a team that you're not likely going to have to compete against. And, the Jags could be set up to be a team that's dangerous in the AFC. You got a receiver. You got Christian Kirk.
Well, so two receivers, depending on how.
You got two wideouts. You got
Deebo makes Christian better. So
yeah, he'll make Christian Kirk a better receiver.
Rising tide floats all boats, or whatever they say.
Yeah, however that goes. But I really think that this is there's gonna be teams trying to pounce on this all over. I mean, hell, we know how this might play. This will probably play out. Fucking Rams will probably get them. Yeah, we're gonna send them to the Rams. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do they can't keep getting away with this?
The NFL would have to step in at that point.
Yeah, there is some tampering going on here. Absolutely.
Do like they did the NBA did the Chris Paul trade back in the day. Like, nah, y'all can't do that. It's too much.
Nah, yeah, y'all just loading up too much here. We can't. So, it's okay. So let's talk about just the simple fact that when you make that decision that you want to be traded, because I ain't gonna lie, I was in a position when I was in Jacksonville after we had Mike Mularkey for a year. I was like, yo, I told my agent, because it was literally the darkest year of my career. I was like, yo, I don't know I think I might just say fuck this team. I was like, if they don't fire Mike Mularkey, I told my agent I want to be traded, because this shit, we were 2-14. That was the worst season of my career. I was like, yo, I can't do this. 2-14. By week 8, I was like, man, is this shit over? Like, we're already out of this shit. What are we doing here?
Boy, looking at them Cancun pamphlets already in brochures.
You know what I mean? I'm over here trying to set up a damn timeshare. I'm like, shit, trying to get
hey, out there in the game, just make sure I pick my feet up. I ain't trying to get rolled up.
Hey, just don't get rolled up. Get to the end of the year, get the hell up on.
Everything else is gravy.
When you get to that point and you decide you want to trade, like, you really, like, that's a big decision, because now you've kind of destroyed the relationship that you have with that team. That's like a instantaneous, like, breakdown in relations. So it's hard to see a situation where he's brought back into the team, because now it threatens the stability and the chemistry of the locker room. Maybe he's not going to be a distraction for his teammates in his intent, but you got the media. They're going to be all up and down asking what the situation is. And it'll be a distraction regardless, because he's not happy there. He doesn't want to be there. Is he going to give the team everything he got, which I would assume he would, because of his teammates. But it gets complicated, and you can't really go back once you say, right, I want to be traded.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Baker Mayfield.
I was just about to say, just like Baker, except people want Deebo.
Yeah.
Well, everybody wants Deebo.
Debo's in the best case scenario of that, and Baker's in the worst case scenario of that.
Some people do want Baker, I think, but they're in such a position, or they have the Browns in such a position where they're not going to give him anything. Like, they know he's a distressed asset. He doesn't want to be there. They don't want him there. So why give up anything to get him? Like, we'll just sit around, we'll wait till you cut him, and then
wait till he's gone and just be like, hey, we'll give you a vet minimum, prove it contract. And once they tell you that, shit,
back up, you're going to be some State Farm insurance. How about that? You're probably not going to be getting any more progressive.
Man, I mean, this is this has been an interesting NFL offseason. I mean, probably one of the more interesting ones that I've seen in a while, just because of the way that the players have kind of like taken control of their destinies.
Yeah, this is the player empowerment movement.
The player empowerment movement. Yeah, that's
but
right.
These are guys that grew up watching LeBron, obviously another sport, but and James Harden and these cats like dictating their moves, and I want to team up with this guy and that guy, and now all these guys are friends and they train together in the off season, and they're probably tampering while they're training with each other and shit. So now they're saying, oh man, I can knock this domino down and kind of force my way out of this situation or into this one. So they're starting to see that in all the other sports around them. Like, man, I could do that. And
you're right. And shoot, you already know Vegas is on it. Vegas says next team odds.
Hey, we can bet on anything.
You can bet on anything. All I know is with the draft coming up, I mean, I would say that's poised to be where you would see a big move get made. And I mean, damn, if this shit wasn't so weak, it'll be a shoe-in, be like, yeah, we give you the first overall. Give us Deebo. Deal.
Right. Or you'll see something crazy. Now selecting with the second pick, Kansas City Chiefs. Like, what the fuck?
For real.
Y'all too good.
And I mean, even if, let's say the 49ers could just get that first overall pick and then trade it for like 3 more picks. But again, it just boils down to don't nobody want that pick. Don't nobody want the number one. Everybody hiding from the first pick. Like, why?
Or make you come back, I want 2 ones. So you go out and get them, come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do the work.
For real. So it's this is gonna be, this is gonna be something that's gonna kind of be a shadow over the top of the draft, because it's just big news. I mean, I think for me the biggest surprise again is just that he doesn't want to be a hybrid, which I mean he was kind of creating a new position on the field, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. I think that, again, at the end of the day, as a player, when you make that decision, there's clearly something that he has set his mind to, and he's just ready to move on. So it's gonna be, something that is gonna have to be dealt with by the Niners. I mean, and they got, this is not a problem they needed. Shit, they're already trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna do at quarterback.
Right.
Shoot, they've been trying to figure that out the last 5 years.
I'm curious if that was a Shanahan thing or a Mike. What's the guy's name? McDonald. Mike McDonald was the OC that just left.
As far as what? As far as him being a hybrid?
Yeah, like who was the one that was designing that position for him? I'm curious.
Shanahan gonna take credit for it. Yeah, it was me.
But if it was, Mike McDonald, then maybe I stick around and see, what the new OC wants to do with me. If that's the only issue, there could be a lot of other shit that they're not talking about.
And I mean, players just are getting back now for their off-season workouts. There's some players who haven't showed up. Ryan Tannehill hasn't showed up for off-season workouts. There's who else? Oh man, I should have pulled that up.
The hell's he holding up for?
Yeah, and it's the voluntary. It's voluntary.
Okay.
And there's a number of players who haven't shown up. Obviously, the guys we talked about earlier, wide receiver, who are looking for new contracts, they haven't showed up. Kyler Murray hasn't showed up. But I mean, voluntary offseason stuff. The first one, that's more like what, the rookie mini camp. Like nobody
usually, yeah. But I don't think
rookies.
I mean, you rarely see a quarterback that doesn't show up for anything.
Yeah. That's something to keep an eye on as well, because quarterback not showing up for anything, because quarterbacks supposed to show up for everything.
Those guys are the ultimate company men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They always, whatever coach says, we're gonna right to that wall.
Gotcha, coach. We're on it.
I'll get them all.
So we'll see how that plays out. I think that we're in for another wild next week, because you got the draft coming up, and us here at Lineman Life, we're going to be doing our first round mock draft Monday. So be on the lookout for that. We're also going to do a tier maker for our offensive linemen. So we're going to set them up in tiers, and which ones we think are worst to best. That should be good as well. But this is for me, this draft is going to be boring. What's his name? What's his name? Is it Todd
McShay? No. Mel Kiper?
Not McShay. Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper's not going to be at the draft this year.
Really?
Yeah, because he's unvaccinated.
Oh.
Yeah, he's unvaccinated, so he will not be at the draft.
You got to be vaccinated to be in Vegas?
You got to be vaccinated.
It is in Vegas, right?
NFL event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it is. Let me see here. Mel Kiper.
I'm pretty confident it's in Vegas.
Yeah, Mel Kiper. Let's see. I just saw it here. Where is it?
Well, it's somebody's opportunity to step up and take over.
Oh, yeah. Who's going to be the next guru? Mel Kiper said, fuck y'all. I ain't getting that shot.
Just live in a bunker somewhere.
Oh, yeah. He's in the cover from home. It says ESPN analyst Mel Kiper Jr. reveals he is unvaccinated against COVID-19. Will cover NFL draft from home.
Okay.
Oh, that's convenient. So let's talk a little bit about this draft. And number one pick, obviously we know how that's going. Let me pull up this little draft sheet here. Should have pulled this up earlier. Here we go. Okay.
I only hope that it's better than when Roger did the draft from his basement. He was fucking.
Oh yeah, Roger Goodell sitting in his basement like a little ready to fall asleep. With the next pick, somebody give me some goddamn coffee.
Yeah, you can't be in your favorite recliner trying to do a goddamn draft at midnight and shit.
For real.
However, like this,
just hanging out, rocking back and forth, like you know.
It's a fireside chat with your Uncle Roger.
So this is CBS's mock draft. We'll just kind of breeze through this. Not anything big. We're not planning on having a very long show tonight, just because we want to start getting our stuff together for the mock draft on Monday. But here's what we have on this is as of today. They got Aiden Hutchinson going number 1 for the Jaguars. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. I don't believe this guy. I don't believe him.
Jags gonna Jag though.
Jags gonna Jag, so they're gonna take him. We got Travon Walker. He's coming from Georgia. Big what? What was he? 99 on the film?
No, that was Jordan Davis. I think this might be 88.
80. Okay, gotcha.
88 was a good player. 95, I think, was good. I'm not sure of all the classifications or which one he was, but
I know
I have not seen him this high up until just now.
Yeah. He's ranked. He's top of his position, 13th overall, but you know.
Damn.
Evan Neal to the Texans. That's kind of a surprise. Don't they already have a left tackle in Houston?
They have.
He's garbage. I've seen his film. I can't remember his name though. I think he came from Miami. Was it? I don't know. I forget his name.
Wait. Larry Tunsil?
Tunsil. Yeah. He's their left tackle. But they got Houston picking Evan Neal at 3.
Oh, maybe he must be on the way out then.
Man, I mean, he didn't have a great season last year. Kayvon Thibodeau at number 4 for the Jets. That is the Oregon. What is it?
Edge rusher.
Edge rusher, yeah. Ikem Ukwonu. We watched his film, tackle from NC State. I thought he was a bit of a project.
Young cat.
So I think we both thought he was a bit of a project. He's young. He's got some. He's got great power. He's got great explosiveness. Technique is. He needs technique coaching strongly. I mean, he didn't really have much to speak of in way of consistency, but I mean, the dude finished plays. You would see him just body cats at the end of the play, and I mean,
he had that asshole in him.
Yeah, he did. He has the mentality for it. So I can see him being a guy that maybe they work with him through the first half of the season before they put him in there. Not sure. I would. This would be a guy that I would be like, okay, you know what? Year 2 is your year. We're gonna get you right. We're not gonna put you out there. And I think that's something the NFL does. NFL teams do way too much of nowadays. Is that they just throw cats to the wolves?
Right.
I'd be like, yo, y'all don't understand. Y'all know what these cats are going against. Why are you doing them like that? I remember when I got thrown out there. I mean, hey, it was my second year, and I still was like, what's going on?
That's a big difference, man. Especially on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
There's men out there.
Trying to
take your cornbread.
I think he could be a guard too. I mean,
I could easily see that.
He's only 6'4". I mean, but he's 6'4", 310. I could see him being a good guard with that explosiveness. I mean, shoot, that's an O-line coach's dream right there.
Yeah.
Panthers got Kenny Pickett, QB from Pittsburgh. Don't know much about him. Don't really think that. I mean, come on, Pittsburgh. Yeah, all right. Ahmad Gardner, cornerback from Cincinnati, 6'3", good size, great size for a corner. Garrett Wilson, a wideout from Ohio State for the Falcons.
That makes sense. Calvin Ridley.
Yep. Because Ridley's ass, man, he's out. He's going to be out next year because he was gambling. Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback for the Seahawks. Seahawks, I mean, shoot, you would think they might be thinking quarterback.
Yeah.
Fill the spot.
What was that, number 8?
Number 8? Number 9.
9? I mean, I guess Malik Willis would still be out there in this mock. Maybe they know something we don't. But I'm pretty sure I know Drew Lock's not the guy.
Yeah, Drew Lock's not going to be the guy for them. The Jets got Drake London at wideout at number 10. I mean, and just so you folks know, I don't know anything about a lot of these college players. I don't watch college football that much to really know who the big players are, but hey,
if they're on this list, they must be pretty good.
They must be all right if they're here.
I imagine
Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, the Jets need someone for Zach Wilson to throw to.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if he can throw it to him, we've seen some gotten a taste of his passing abilities, and something to be desired. I can tell you that much. Kyle Hamilton for the Washington Commanders at safety. Trent McDuffie, cornerback from Washington for the Vikings at 12. Charles Cross. This is the guy right here who I feel like is
didn't this same mock have Evan Neal going to the Texans? So they got 2 tackles in the first round?
Yeah, buddy. That's kind of whack. I don't know about that. I mean, he's definitely I got this guy as the best tackle, Charles Cross, overall. I mean, Evan Neal is good, but I think he edges him out just a little bit with his technique.
I agree, but you don't want to have 2 rookie starting tackles.
For real. And both, both left tackles. That's how you ruin somebody's career. You put them in right
very
tackle.
Peculiar.
They just all messed up. Yeah, that's a weird one. That's weird. Hold on. Like that is weird. Why? Why would you do that? So clearly, whoever put this together was just clicking names. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm tired." Yeah, put him in there. Yeah, we got it. Up. 14, you got Jermaine Johnson, the second edge rusher out of Florida State. You got the Eagles taking Jameson Williams, wide receiver. The Eagles definitely need wideout help. So that'll be good for them.
He's going to miss the first half of the season. He'll probably miss. Tore his ACL in the championship game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ooh, that cat was good too.
Yeah.
Trevor Penning, O-line from Northern Iowa. Hey, you know what? That motherfucker going right here, he's going to play 14 years. Northern Iowa, them Iowa boys, man, I tell you what, them boys play forever.
Yes.
They be playing. Shoot. Kenyon Green, I was not impressed with him as an offensive tackle. In our film watching, I thought he was a little bit timid, a little bit fluffy. Didn't really see a ton of aggression. Didn't really see a lot of any real assertiveness. Didn't look great in their game against Alabama, in my opinion. So it's funny because we look at the film, we watch film on these guys, and we can tell if a guy's got it. I mean, you can tell, and that's a guy. I mean, I didn't think that he had it. I just didn't think that he had it. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to need to be developed. And if they throw him out there first year, I feel like he's going to get his lunch took. So that's going to be it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, hopefully they got
George
depth where they can give him that year. I was saying, I hope they have enough depth where they give him that year, because I imagine they want to pair somebody with Rashad Slater, and have the left side of the line, on lock for the next decade. But if you start next year, don't count that year.
Yeah, he's gonna be out there getting spunter in circles. Pick 18, Eagles taking a Boilermaker, George Karlaftis, edge rusher. Now, I did, obviously, because I watch Purdue football games when they come on. I did get a chance to get a look at this guy. He's a pretty good guy, a pretty good playmaker. He makes plays. Not the fastest guy, but he is going to give you pressure consistently. Just a hard worker. He's a try hard, not super athletic, but he finds his way to the ball. He got the nose for the ball, which is going to be good.
It's always the same scouting report for the white D.
Yeah, the white D ain't get the same. Sorry, bro. We don't see you over there doing, we don't see many spin moves. We just see bull rushes and rips. I mean, come on.
Makes the intelligent play, always lined up in the correct gap.
Always in the right spot. He's always in the right spot.
Quarterback of the defense. Gives 100% effort away from the ball.
This guy's gonna give you everything he's got. Everything.
Might not be a lot, but you're gonna get it all.
You're gonna get it all. Chris Olave, wideout for the Saints at 19.
Okay.
You kind of figure this is what's going to happen with
is Mike Thomas still out? Did he ever come back?
He hasn't. He didn't play last. Did he play last season?
I feel like he missed the whole year.
Yeah, he didn't play. I think he didn't play by choice too. He was like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah, because he elected to have surgery like right before fucking camp or something crazy.
He was like, "Sorry, y'all, I ain't playing this year, but I am getting paid."
Like, oh, y'all ain't got Drew no more? All right, see y'all next year.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna check y'all out from the sideline, see how it's looking.
Yeah, I better have Taysom Hill throw me the ball, get me killed out here.
Ooh, for real. So we got Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. You got to figure, obviously, with the with the tragic passing of Dwayne Haskins, the Steelers are going to need to kind of fill that spot. I think this is probably where you're going to see that happen, but we'll see how it plays out during the draft. You got the Patriots with Devin Lloyd at linebacker. The Patriots always pick good linebackers. It's crazy. They always get guys who are just rock solid linebackers. Not like extraordinary at anything, but pretty damn good at everything.
Yeah, they're gonna be productive. That's for sure.
They are productive. productive players in Bill Belichick's system. The Packers looking at O-line with Bernard Raymond, the Central Michigan guy. This guy was a stiff. He was a stiff.
Yeah, I remember him now.
He's big, tall dude. Played rugby and where was he at again? I think he was New
Germany
Zealand
or something,
before. I think it was New Zealand or something.
He was not from the States.
Yeah, he wasn't from the States. He transferred in as an exchange student to Central Michigan. We watched his film. He's got how do I put this? He plays he's an O-lineman, but he's not very versatile as an offensive lineman. He's kind of he's a guy on a one-way track. You know, he doesn't really adjust to movement that great. He's very tall, so it's hard for him to get low. A lot of the film we saw of him, defenders were able to get under his pads. But he still had some good ability in being strong in certain cases, but he looks like a guy who hasn't necessarily played the position that long. But he's catching on to it. You could tell that he was playing it, but he
had some nasty too.
He had some nasty, yes.
But if I remember right, I think he's a little older. He might be like 24, 25-ish.
Yeah, he's a little bit older than the guys there.
I might be talking about the wrong guy, but I think
he's Austrian.
Okay.
Okay, so that makes more sense. But I didn't see any. I mean, I wouldn't have. He is he would have been in the bottom half of the top 10 in my eyes, and he was in the bottom half on the list that we had. But I mean, he's a guy that can develop and be something good. I mean, the NFL has a way of finding what you do good and trying to make that the only thing you do.
They had some good players on the Packers O-line. I can't remember their swing guy, but he was like playing 4 positions every game and shit. And obviously Bakhtiari's coming back, full strength now.
Coming back.
So maybe
the Packers always have a solid O-line. They always have a good O-line.
They have a good eye for this. So they'll turn him into something. So, they'll get the best out of him that is in there.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Treylon Burks, wideout for the Arizona Cardinals. Last year they picked Purdue wide receiver. Damn, why is his name slipping?
Rondale Moore?
Was it Rondale Moore? That's right. Rondale Moore.
So this
Rondale Moore,
this guy's like the opposite of that. Huge.
Yeah, 6'2", 225. More of a this is a guy who's gonna get some yak, probably carrying guys.
So them two and D-Hop.
Yeah, that could be a nasty little receiving core.
And for the Zach Ertz, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, Zach Ertz too. Ooh, yeah, they got Zach Ertz. Ooh, how did they just blow it in the playoffs?
By doing the fucking sky hook out of the end zone.
He did the Dr. J hook from the back of the end zone. Zion Johnson, O-line to the Cowboys. I will say this: the Cowboys do pick well when they draft O-linemen. They draft O-linemen who go on to be pretty damn good. So, you see that with Zach Martin. What was his name? Travis
Frederick.
Travis Frederick. They had, Doug Free was solid. They got Tyron Smith. They pick good at O-line. That's something that they've done historically. They've done better than most teams in the league.
And just lost Lyle Collins and Connor Williams.
Ooh. Well, I mean, Lyle Collins was he was solid. He was solid. Yeah, he had a good game.
And they probably need to start looking at centers.
Yeah. That's something that they always seem to have as well, is a really, really good center. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out for them. Buffalo going to cornerback with Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson. Titans, Jahan Dotson, wideout, Penn State.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We just said they had a wideout problem.
Yeah, that's probably a smart pick for them. Jordan Davis, D-line out of Georgia.
That's
to
the
the
big
Bucks.
guy.
That could be a great pick for them.
Oh, so they're trying to replace Sue. So it'll be that guy and Vita Vey in the middle. Get the fuck out of here.
Oof. Pitch it.
But then you got Levante David in the middle.
Oh my God.
He can run sideline to sideline, and Devin White.
Devin White. Boy.
That's gonna be nasty.
The Bucks the Bucks are just loaded. Whew. Green Bay at pick 28, Christian Watson at wideout. Green Bay, obviously, they're going to need to shore up their wideout core.
Yeah,
I mean, we know they
they
lost the biggest piece they had. Yep. We got Kansas City at pick 29 with Boye Mafe. That sounds like a Hawaiian cat. Out of Minnesota, defensive lineman. They also got pick 30 with Sky Moore at wide receiver. Wide receivers spot that they're probably going to try and they might get multiple players at wide out this year, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of figure out who's going to fill in that spot for Tyreek. Pick 31 to the Bengals, Kyer Elam, cornerback. Yeah, I think the Bengals are all of a sudden look kind of stacked too.
Yes.
All of a sudden they look stacked too. Pick 32, and this is, I believe, the trade for Matt Stafford that the Lions get. They get Nakobe Dean, linebacker from Georgia. Any pick, anybody they can get on defense, they need it for Detroit because they shit was just a wet paper towel last year. So
one play.
That's what CBS thinks. Mock draft. We're going to have our mock draft again on Monday. We're going to have our tier maker. I believe we'll split it into 2 days. We'll do our mock draft on Monday. Then we'll have our tier maker for our old lineman. Or is that? Or am I doing that backwards?
Maybe tier maker is usually on Wednesdays.
Yeah, tier maker on Wednesday for our old line, and we'll do our mock draft on Monday. And then we'll be right at the NFL draft, so we'll be able to see how teams handle the draft after the weekend ends. But I think that's going to be it, folks. We didn't really have the Deebo Samuel situation was the main story today. We wanted to go through, kind of take a look at the draft, a little preview at it, but we didn't really plan to have a long one today for you guys. So. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so, and share this stream so we can get that thing out into the YouTube algorithm. But that's going to be it for us here today. Quick one. Instead of going 2 hours, we're going 50 minutes. And maybe we'll get in urinating tree and 5 points vids for the mock draft on Monday. I'll hit them up and see how they feel about that. We could have a nice little mock there with those guys, and I think that'd be some fun. But that is going to do it for us here on Lineman Life Live. Appreciate you guys for being in here. Make sure you catch us on our Monday mock draft. Once again, we will see you guys next week. Peace.
And here.